Notts County Talk inside Meadow Lane with Matt after a dramatic 1-0 victory for Notts against Halifax, going down to 10 men just after half time. Matt, what do you think to that then?
A very good performance. A few times this season it's been questionable how Notts have gone about the business, especially when they've scored early and they've been having to defend a lead. But today it looked really solid against a Halifax team. We made them look very average in all honesty, and the points don't lie. They're third in the table. They've got some really good results this year, but we made them look like nothing special at all.
I genuinely don't remember a time when I felt troubled by maybe the diving header towards the end, but it didn't even go near, did it?
Yeah, I mean, but early on in the game they had a few chances, but late on we expect them to be throwing the kitchen sink at it. Notts were very comfortable. They kept the ball well. They weren't just punting it back. I thought they were very brave. Credit to Neil Ardley. He kept two strikers on when Doyle got sent off, which I'm sure we'll talk about at some point.
Yeah.
And yeah, fair credit to him today. He took a gamble and it worked for him. I think Notts thoroughly deserved the points.
So just thinking back to just before kick-off, when you saw the team news, obviously Dennis dropped, O'Brien out wide again. What was your initial thoughts?
I wasn't really down on it. I thought it was a pretty solid team. O'Brien's played a lot of his career as a winger, so I see no problem with him out there. He's not quite got the pace for it.
Yeah.
Which is you can't really compare him to Enzio. Enzio's a completely different. He's a flying winger, but I didn't mind it. I didn't go last week. One of the few I've missed, but by all accounts, Wootton played well, and I thought he was solid today. I thought he was probably. I would have had him slightly behind O'Brien as best player. I know he got his goal, but I thought O'Brien was on a different level to everyone on that.
Yeah, he wanted every single tackle, didn't he?
He was. It's hard to say a player is on a different level, but today he was. He made pretty much. Well, I was going to say 21, but Doyle had gone. 20 players on the pitch look, at a pace below what he was. So
yeah.
Fair play to.
And Doyle sending off's a big moment in the game. So we'll obviously go back to, but
I mean, I don't want to just stand here and lambast him, but the man's becoming a liability. Going back to last season, he was poor. He was poor.
Yeah.
And fans weren't keen on him, and you thought, you know what, come into this season, get your head down, put in some solid performances. You're captain. Fans will get behind you. They might not be chanting your name from the stands, although they do chant your name from the stands.
Do you join in?
I clap. Just play some solid games. Keep yourself out of the news. And then next thing you know, we've got a straight red for an elbow at Eastleigh, sorry. And then today, possibly the stupidest tackle I've seen in a long time. I mean, that tackle, it was late. He's either got a problem with his mentality and it's two ill-disciplined red cards, or, and I'm doing a credit saying it's a discipline issue, or he can't keep up with the pace of the game. Because anyone that's played football professionally or down with your mates in the park, it doesn't take that long to get your foot out of the way. You don't need to put it back down. You just need to, I'm not going to do it on camera, just move it like a half a degree down or so.
And he's left that with force as well.
It looks intentional.
And that's something you expect from maybe a younger player that can't keep their head. Not
he's what,
your
37, 38?
Yeah.
I don't want to just bash Doyle because I try not to be too negative, but on such a positive day. But it was. What's he got now? I think is it 4? I think 4 game ban for a second straight red.
Well,
possibly so.
It might not be the worst thing.
I mean, by the time he comes back, Notts will have played 14 games this season, and as my friend pointed out, he will have been ineligible for 7 of them, so half the games.
When you put it that way,
what kind of captain is that? So,
but
Michael Doyle, what are you doing, mate?
Like you were saying, you don't want to be negative on a positive day, so let's go back to the positives. For me, Wootton class, Turner class, McCrory very
hopefully
good.
Turner's
O'Brien,
all right.
Yeah, hopefully.
So,
but I don't know. After the red, we just seemed to click in, didn't we? It was
so much better. And I don't want to go back to Doyle, but when he was out last time, was suspended. We played very, very well with Booty in there. It looks, although Doyle's been playing well, he's been playing really well. It looks a lot more mobile when he's not in. It looks a lot more fluid. It's a lot quicker. The play gets moved up the pitch. It's not quite as staccato. It was,
Great. It's a turning point in the season.
It's hard to say. I think there's probably been a few games this season already where people have said this is the turning point. Surely.
I think
and a few others.
I think the fact it's not Saturday Tuesday for me feels a bit more like now we can build.
I think this is the first game which most people would have come to and thought, I'm not sure we're going to win today, because there's been quite a lot of positivity this year, and we've gone on and put a clinical performance against a very good team, a team up there in top, I think third in the league. So if it's the turning point, it's always hard to say. You're always cautiously optimistic it might be, but certainly there's a lot of positives to build on from that performance today.
Yeah, brilliant. Matt, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.
Cheers.